what's up? This is a demo video for the YouTube channel Geoff's Collection, and it is the Korbanth Darksaber. So Geoff, this is your saber. It's all done. It is installed with a Proffie. So how you want to get to the chassis is you want to come over here. I've already got it out for the sake of this demo, but when you initially get this, I'm going to have this screw assembly will be inside this hole right here. So you want to come take that out, and then once you do, you can pull the pommel right out, okay? And then once you look in there, you'll see your chassis. There's a place for you to put your thumb and just pull the chassis right out. All right, and this is what it looks like. That's that place for your thumb right there, and it helps you pull it out. But you've got a 28mm Smoker's Outpost Elite speaker. It is a removable battery setup. You've got a Proffie board right here. For now, it's just a snap fit down into the shelf. So if you want to add some fonts or do whatever you want to do, you can do that. You can lift up the board and do that, but then you can use some E6000 on the side of the boards to put it back into the chassis and let it cure, and it will stay right in place for you. But for now, it's fine. It's got the stock font package on it. You've got a kill switch right here, and then of course these are the pins that that Korbanth provides. So that's what the chassis was modeled around. Okay. When you go to put a battery in this guy, it is very important. This is my test battery, but you'll see a metal strip that goes from one side to the other. It's hard to see on camera, but you'll notice it when you get your battery in person. That strip has to be facing on the outside. Okay, and then what I mean by that, I'll show you. Let me put this in. Sometimes it's hard to do in the dark. I've got that metal strip right here, right in the middle, outside of the chassis, so that it doesn't bulge out, okay? Because every little bit of room in the saber counts. So we'll come over here and flip the switch. You'll see your single tactile switch because this is a one-button setup saber. So your tactile switch is right here, right? Just like that, I gave you twist off. When you put this into the saber, you'll want to make sure your tactile switch is facing up and it's facing towards this button right here, because that's your switch, right? So we'll go ahead and we'll put that in nice and careful. Push it all the way in, and then come over here and put your pommel on, okay? So we'll put the pommel on, and then we will want to take that screw assembly and put it back in because that's what keeps the pommel on. So I'll show you what that looks like all assembled. Takes a second to do, it's no biggie. So once you've got it all assembled, it looks like that, right? So now we can come over here and turn this on. I gave you twist off. Now one thing I didn't do that you can do, I'm gonna leave it assembled for shipping, but there's this little metal thing on your pommel. You can completely take that off. It's just on there with one Phillips head screw. And if you take that off, you will get a lot better sound venting. All right, I'm just leaving it on there so I don't lose any of these pieces when I ship it off to Canada. When everything's working right, you can twist it off. Now, to put your blade in, this is something I haven't seen on these before. It seems like there's a little something different every time I do one of these. But so the blade was wired up and it's fine. There's 4 screws that go in to here to hold the blade. Now there are 4 screws that are just for show. I took those out and I put them in a little baggie right here, and I'll put these in your box and I'll send them with them. Those aren't the ones that hold the blade though. These longer ones hold the blade, but on this particular saber, for whatever reason, when you put these in the hole right there, they fall right through. They're too small for the threaded piece on the emitter, but they thread in perfectly to the blade, okay? You've got 2 holes right here, and you've got another 2 holes right here, and so there's 4 screws that hold this blade in. And then if you'll look at your blade, you have 2 holes right here, and another 2 holes on the other side. These are perfect for these screws, but they're too small for the emitter. Normally they would screw right into the emitter, so that's pretty strange. But what you want to do is put your blade in. It only goes in one way, right? You can see how it's angled and how the emitter is angled and the blade is angled. So you want to make sure that you get that. Your actual sharp part of your blade, or the one that has all of the designing on it, is opposite side of your switch, right? Just like that. So once we put the blade in, we'll have to come through and put those 4 screws in. So we'll do that real quick. What I would suggest doing when you get this in the mail is I would take the smaller guys that are just for show, take them to your local hardware store, and take this with you, and I would get 4 screws that actually screw into the emitter. I don't like that they slide right through the emitter, but they screw into the blade. It just seems like it wouldn't hold it as well, right? So I'm not going to use all 4. I'm just using 1 so that I can show you this works. But you would want to use all 4 screws, all right? We'll come over here, and then we hit activation. You got good flash on flash. Try not to hit my ceiling. With a 1-button setup, what you want to do is it's a long press when the saber's off to switch sound fonts.
Smooth Jedi.
Just tap on it for blaster bolt deflex. If you want blade lockup, you hold the button and hit the saber, and you get blade lockup. And it'll stay like that until you let go of it. Just like that. We'll do it again.
Smooth gray.
To play your soundtrack, it's a double tap. This one takes a second to get going. Hopefully you can hear it. And then it's another double tap to turn off. Just like that. This particular one's a fire blade, so that looks pretty cool.
Smooth fuzz.
Blade lock up. Nice shine through in your emitters, in your emitter windows. Just like that. And then we'll go ahead and we'll take the blade out of this guy. So yeah, just besides that little thing with the screws, everything is working as it should on here, right? But like I said, take these to your local hardware store. I believe they're metric. I don't know what size they are off the top of my head, but it's easiest maybe even just to take this guy and go find 4 of them that fit, right? Because it's not an awkward size. They should be stocked. All right, but we'll go ahead and we'll take this guy off again so we can get to the chassis. That pops right off, just a couple turns. Make sure you don't lose it though, because it is a 2-part piece and they're small, right? But once you take that out, we can pop this pommel out again, and again we'll reach in here with our thumb and pull it out. It is going to be a little bit more stiff with a battery in there, so just kind of work it and then it'll come right out, okay? It is important also to put the battery in the way that I showed you. But then you can come from the, well, we can flip the kill switch and then come over here from the positive side by your speaker, and you should be able to pop it out with your finger just like that. So yeah, that's pretty much your Korbanth Darksaber. Let me know if you got any questions. If not, I'll get these guys out in the mail to you Monday. All right, thanks.